Welcome back, you armadilliest armadillos. It's your armadillo daddy, Ahmadelyo. And that answers the question of why nobody questions why I'm singular. They just assume that I'm always never gonna be plural. In today's MP4 file, we are going to be talking about TikTok. Yes, we're gonna be talking about that lip syncing application once again, but it's not for the reasons that you think. Because even though TikTok spawned as this renegade-worthy application where people would just hop on the app and dance, it rapidly became one of the most popular apps known to appkind. Everyone had TikTok, and if you didn't have TikTok, you were known as somebody that was trying to be quirky or special. But now you're probably looked at as somewhat of a revolutionary, or at least that's what you think. And if this is your first time witnessing this 6'4", beautiful cinnamon-skinned alpha male Fibian, you're probably thinking, wow, this is going to be a super informatizing video, and let me just break it to you right now. Even though I just gave you the most generic timeline of how TikTok started and how TikTok turned out, that is not what this video is about. You will not receive any education upon witnessing this MP4 file. And I just want to make that clear, because if you want to ensure that you are watching an ahmadelyo video, you need to leave that MP4 file thinking, wow, I have truly devolved as a human being. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about the cringiest corners of the TikTok world. That's right, I retrieved some of the worst enclaves on TikTok, and we're going to talk about them. And I'm not going to thoroughly explain what these communities are about, because I have done a lot of videos on a lot of these communities before, but rather we are going to rank them on a scale from cringiness to cringierness. So before we actually start ranking the communities, I'm going to go through the ranking system, and every time I've done a ranking video, I've changed up the ranking system, and this is going to be no different. So let's go ahead and go through the standings so you guys can see exactly what this rubric for these TikTok communities looks like. If you are new here, you might not know this, but if you are a recurring victim of some of my content, you would know what the ranking system kind of operates on. It is a reverse standing geology, meaning the top of the standings is the worst place to be, and the bottom is the place you probably want to be. You probably don't want to be in the video to begin with, but if you are in the video, you want to be chilling at the bottom. You want to be fighting relegation for the first time in human history. So starting at the bottom, we have submerge in grass. Because for you, touching grass is not enough. I don't want you to just go and touch the grass. You need to submerge yourself in it. You need to really commit a Turkish drama on that grass. And then next up, which is really next down, we have Facebook Marketplace, which just means that I believe, and everybody that watches this video will believe, that you need to be put on sale on Facebook Marketplace. And then next up, we have maybe bleach isn't so bad. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. No, I am not talking about the anime. Get your head out of those Japanese cartoons. But yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. Watching whatever I watch makes me feel like I want to commit a bleach mukbang. And then at the top of the list, we have annihilate innocent family of squirrels. And look, the last thing I want to do is harm an innocent family of squirrels. Do you think I really want to have Zootopia side characters running after me? No, I don't. But upon witnessing your video, maybe I kind of do. So that's the end of the ranking system explanation. I hope that makes it a lot easier for you to differentiate how I'm feeling about a certain video, or how you should feel about a certain video, because your beliefs need to align with mine after watching every video, right guys?
You must align with me.
But who am I kidding? If anything, that probably confused you a lot more, because you're probably wondering, where on earth is this guy's moral compass located? It seems like it's just going east, south, northwest. It's going in every single direction. You can't coordinate me. The first could definitely be the worst is Book Talk. Now, Book Talk is a community that needs no introduction on this channel, but if you haven't, I truly do envy you, because Book Talk is pretty self-explanatory. It's exactly what the name defines it as. It's a community of people on TikTok that love books. Not just any book. Books that make you think with your third party. And let's be honest, that is not the purpose of books. Books are meant to educate you and entertain you in a normal manner, not in a manner where it's a gorilla and a human falling in love. I would prefer if we just didn't have that concept in our head. But that's not what makes Book Talk so bad. It's actually the people that enjoy the Book Talk. And that kind of makes sense, because I just told you a concept of a gorilla and a human being falling in love, and people on Book Talk are like, wow, enemies to lovers. No, that's just animal abuse. But you'll notice some very strange themes on Book Talk. And I'm not saying that all of Book Talk is like this, but you'll notice a lot of themes of abuse, just people being extremely toxic. I don't even know if they can be considered toxic. they're just hazardous. You'll notice things like when he's a 6'5" mafia man that annihilated my whole family. How attractive, am I right? He's just a serial killer, wow. Guys, I can fix him. No, you can't. You are not Bob the Builder, and reading this book is probably not great for your mental health. But I feel like I'm just giving you a visualization of what book talk is like. Why don't we actually show you some of the artifacts that have been retrieved from #BookTalk? Wow, world peace will definitely be achieved through this video, not like a plethora of singular moms who are struggling with their divorce in your DMs, right? That's totally the goal of this video. And I know what a lot of you are thinking.
Hey Ahmed, stop judging him. Who are you to judge?
You extremely attractive man, who are you to judge? And that's true, I am no one to judge, but let's just look at the facts. It's about hurting the whole world except her. Actually, no, that's probably the mentality that certain terrorist groups have. How about not hurting the world and not hurting her? I don't know, just some thought for food. But something that just makes me question the genuineness of this beautiful piece of content is the fact that you are trying to send a genuine message, or at least that's what you make it appear as, while you are wearing oxygen, while you are posing to be the face of GQ's Man of the Year. Seems like some super honest work. But the thing is, you cannot even blame him because this is content that works. It's proven. And the way you figure that out is you fling open the comment section. And I don't want you to do that, so I did it for you. But some of us want to be owned. I always tell myself, you cannot feel bad for someone that doesn't feel bad for themselves. But I don't even need to tell myself this in this equation because they clearly don't feel bad for anything. I guess one of us ladies will be taken off the market. No. He just used you for audience retention. I am so sorry to break it to you. He knows that you think he's gonna take one of you guys off the market. What you don't know is he's not going to take one of you guys off the market. Just made the video so all of you would congregate and give him some views. And you did. Well done. You have done a great job contributing to his mess.
This is for Book Talk and Book Talk only. If you're not on Book Talk, please keep scrolling. I've had a lot of requests lately to say certain phrases that circulate the internet or from favorite books from a lot of people. And I think it'd be fun to some of them. So if you have a favorite phrase, please put it in the comment section. And I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. This is gonna be fun.
I'm not gonna lie, a ton of people have been asking me for me to say stuff. You feel me? Yeah, I sound like a croaking frog. Yeah, this is just it's not even my morning voice. I got this in the afternoon and at nighttime as well. But comment them down below. I know you all are probably all under the age of 12, but that's okay. Just please comment down. I don't want to spend too much time on book talk, but I think it's fair to say just some truly horrifying stuff coming out of there. Oh, open up the comment section, you say? No, I just prefer not to. I don't want to know the phrases that they were telling him. You want me to read it? As you wish. Sir, the best one is always going to be good girl. Yes, you're right. That is always the best one. I tried that one time on a random person and I'm actually facing life. I wonder what some other phrases looked like. Use your words, princess. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. No, we do know what we're getting ourselves into, but the question is, where is your father? Was he there? Just be honest with me. If there was a milk situation, I totally get it. Not even that I get it, I see it. But Book Talk has always been a very tough community to endure. And it's honestly probably the reason why 90% of commentary channels exist on YouTube, because the amount of milkage that has been done from Book Talk is phenomenal work. I'm gonna have to put that in maybe Bleach isn't so bad because, to be honest, I don't want to harm the squirrels just yet. But whenever I see a Book Talk video, it just makes me question is there even a point of continuing to go through this thing we call life? Next up, we have Book Talk's arch nemesis, Bike Talk. Now, I made a video probably around 2 months ago talking about Bike Talk, so if you want to see a more extended video on what Bike Talk truly entails, you can watch that video. But Bike Talk is also pretty self-explanatory. Bike Talk is a community on TikTok for the people that own bikes. The thing about it though is they do everything but bike. Bike talk son or book talk daughter is something that has been discussed for generations. It's equivalent to the same debate of artichoke versus Play-Doh or whatever the other guys. Now for a lot of you, you might have just seen that video and just started doing Mr. Beast thumbnail facial expressions, but for me, I'm immune to it. Like I said, I already did a video on this, so that was some pretty generic content. But the best thing about bike talk is, again, the community, because the people it attracts are probably the same demographic as book talk. They're either cocoa melons or 70-year-old women that are in the trenches of singularity.
Me for you. Meow, 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 meow.
Me for you.
Dad, 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 dad.
Why is your dad playing Where's Waldo? You are telling a grown man on the internet, meow, 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 meow. We've hit rock bottom and there is no chance. This is why Trump is president. We're busy meowing at dudes that are flexing their pregnant biceps on us. Now I will say this, and this kind of opens up the opportunity to make a part 2 of this video, because any community on TikTok that somewhat covers their face with a mask is already, you're gonna have to start questioning what's going on. There's a community on TikTok called Mask Talk that makes some even horrifinger content than Bike Talk. And I thought Bike Talk was the peak. But Bike Talk typically consists of 2 genres of content. One, which was the one we just witnessed, which has nothing to do with bikes. They just wear a helmet to let us know that they have the ability to bike. But also 2, which is talking videos, which are bikers who are talking around their bikes. They're not talking about their bikes. They're just talking in the vicinity of their bikes. And for some reason, that seems to either give them ADHD or just the ability to make some extremely strange noises. I covered this specific individual in my last Bike Talk video, but we'll just have to revisit him for the sake of this video.
See, watch. I'm a real writer. Oh my god. All of a sudden, you're really cute. Pics.
So that is 26 seconds of a 1 minute and 43 second video. See how that 26 seconds didn't even feel like 26 seconds? That didn't feel like 13 times 2, that felt like 13 times years. Bike Talk is going at it with Book Talk. Even though I do think they're slightly better than Book Talk, they're still in the same conversation length. I don't think they're significantly worse or better. They're in that same genre. So even if they are a little bit better, it's fractional. It's very minor, which also happens to be the demographic that they typically try to attract. So I'm going to put Bike Talk in maybe Bleach isn't so bad, because I just feel like indulging in a buffet of Bleach. Next up we have Mukbang Talk. They don't even label it as mukbang talk, but the mukbangers of TikTok. This community just consists of gluttony. Now, even though I would never watch somebody else eat food unless I was interested in eating the food that they were eating, like sometimes I'm really hungry, but I don't want to eat at a certain place. This is just another level of privilege, honestly. So I'm sorry for saying this, but it's kind of the only option for food that I have, and I really just don't want to cook. I watch a mukbang of somebody eating at that place. Maybe that's just a me thing. I am a little troubled, so it's fine. But this community can sometimes consist of eating some very strange things or just an absolute overindulgence of ingredient greed. That's actually not what we're going to focus on today, because I don't think that really represents the community to a T. We're just gonna watch some random mukbang videos that I found because, hey, we're trying to rank these communities, am I right?
Least full eating video. For the people that don't think I eat all my food, oh my god, hot.
I am a little bit hungry, but that actually de-hungried my hungry. I'm not that hungry anymore. Why is Rapunzel letting down her cheese out of that mozzarella stick? What is wrong with that mozzarella stick? That's not cheese, that's squirrel cheese. That's not a normal cheese. Okay, this is just getting cheesy. First question is, what microphone do you have? And why does it sound like you swallowed the microphone as well? But the second question is, the first question was my only question. So there is no second question, actually. I just wanted to make it seem like I had something else to say.
Right, y'all, I'm in Chicago.
Chicago.
Trying $1,000 smoked alligator. This is a 15-pound gator shipped all the way from Louisiana. That's first marinated overnight, then stuffed with chicken, then it's smoked for 3 hours, and then it's plated to look like it's hunting in the wild.
I'm just here for this tail.
Why are you eating the Crocs mascot? And before you say, well, isn't the Crocs mascot a crocodile? No way you're going stat for stat with a crocodile and an alligator. This is not what mukbangs are about. Go back to the Rapunzel mozzarella sticks. How about that? Go back to eating microphones. I don't want to see you eat an alligator, but that's essentially what the community is about. Obviously, there are some extremes. There was actually another video that I wanted to include in this section, but the dude was just eating straight up salmonella. No, like actually, he was just eating raw eggs and fish. I felt like barfing, so I said, you know what? I'm not going to throw this one in here. But I wouldn't be analyzing the mukbang talk genre if I didn't include the random Korean guy eating random Korean food, because nobody does mukbangs like those kimchi merchants. As soon as you see a Korean guy on your screen eating something, watch it. These dudes do their best impression of what it's like to be a vacuum cleaner, but instead of picking up trash, they're picking up probably one of the best cuisines in the world. Can someone tell me why this is a thing in South Korea? Why are we just producing a La Masia-worthy amount of mukbang talent? They just make tribes of mukbangers, and nobody knows why. Like, no, I understand the food is good. Why did all of us decide to pick up a camera, get the most descriptive microphone, and eat it in front of a camera? I know it works, but why did we just all decide to do that? So I'm actually gonna put that in submerge in grass, because yes, sometimes the mukbangs can be super out of touch and just show this amount of overconsumption that us as a society probably shouldn't stand for when there are people that are literally struggling to find a morsel of food. Next up, we have rapture talk. Now, this was actually extremely popular a few months ago when people genuinely believed that the rapture was happening. Now, if you don't know what the rapture is, it is a 19th century theological concept primarily popular among American evangelicals, where Jesus Christ removes believers from earth, taking them to heaven before a period of divine wrath. But you can probably get the point. It is a community of people that believe they are some of the chosen ones. They believe that they're just going to get plucked out from the sky and flung up into the sky. No, you are not just going to start levitating on February 23rd or whatever that date was. It's not happening right now, little bro. Now, obviously, because I am an Islamified individual, I don't believe that the rapture is happening. But I also think if you do believe the rapture is happening, there's just a lot of better ways to prepare for it versus just making content around it on TikTok. And this was a huge thing because a lot of people who believed that they were one of the chosen ones were warning other people on the application that they were just dipping. Yes, they were just telling us they were going to take first-class flights to the sky. And not only that, they just started selling a lot of their objects, a lot of the things that they owned, because guess what? They thought the rapture was happening. So might as well make some quick bucks before you start flying. I don't know why that would benefit you, because if you're flying anyways,
Why are you selling your stuff?
what is the money gonna do for you up there? I don't think they have heaven pay.
November 7th. You know what that means. I literally, I'm not kidding, am anticipating on floating up in the sky and meeting Jesus within the next 48 hours. Yup. I'm being dead serious.
Again, I don't want to make fun of anybody for their religious beliefs because I am a religious person, so obviously I wouldn't want somebody to do the same. That being said, we are past November 7th and he didn't fly up to the sky, so he surely doesn't believe that anymore, right?
If we get raptured tonight, Easter eggs won't be the only thing you're looking for tomorrow. Like, you'll probably be looking for your kids and your family members too, which are metaphorically represented by the Easter eggs.
Okay, so he definitely still believes it's happening. Sorry to break it to you, buddy. It didn't happen. I mean, you can keep on making the content around it, but when he said he was being serious, he was actually being serious.
Today is September 22nd. I'm in Australia. That means I'm one day out from September 23rd. The big day we've all been waiting for, to see what will happen. And everyone wants to know, what will I do? if the rapture doesn't happen?
Nobody wants to know. Everyone is just worried for you. They're trying to understand what made you think we have come to the point where you are just going to start levitating. That this is the pinnacle of time where you are going to start levitating. So no, not everyone is wondering what you're going to do. But that is just an Australian version of the video that we watched before. And trust me, there's like a bajillion videos on people actually thinking that they're just going to start flying. You are not going into airplane mode. You are just going into debt mode because you sold a bunch of your stuff and now you don't have stuff. Well, you're not going to be in debt. You're actually going to be very rich. So I guess congratulations. That was a very interesting period of time, which is why I'm going to put Rapture Talk in Facebook Marketplace, because these are people that are selling stuff. So maybe that's what they like. They like Facebook Marketplace. So they probably do belong there. Next, we have gym talk. Yes, remember when we were talking about biceps getting pregnant? Well, this is where biceps are getting pregnant, but they're expecting twins. And when I say that as in take that with not just grains, tribes of sodium, because this might be the most devastating community you will come across in your lifetime.
At the end of the day, what really matters is that I'm 280 plus pounds and you're not. So that makes you basically a woman. There's nothing there. You understand this? You're under 280 pounds.
Grown man, by the way, probably with about 4 hungry kids at home thinking,
Where is Dada? Where is Dada? I know Dada and Dada is not here. And Dada
is telling people on the internet that they have actually swapped genders because they don't go to the gym. Even though there could be a woman that's 286 pounds. So I didn't get the metaphor, but that's fine. If this dude is watching this video, just get petted, okay? I think you need it. So everything's gonna be okay, all right? I know that mortgage is hitting, taxes have been getting tough. I know gas in this economy has also been very difficult. Probably matches actually has exceeded your weight. I get it. Also, as someone that's not good at calisthenics but has done calisthenics, what were you doing on the bar? What was that? Was that your best impression of a Tootsie Roll? I couldn't understand what was going on. What exactly were you working out there? It seemed like a bit of abs and bunda. Never seen people hit those two body parts at the same time. Primarily because they're on opposite sides of your anatomy. But this is just some normal content for gym talk. Just tell everybody how much of a peasant they are. Look at you, you little skeleton. Look at me.
I sit for hours, killing all the bluebirds, the Bill and Coopers.
The dude is giving us the vibe that the planet is finished. No, you're just at Planet Fitness. I know that's just a CapCut template, but honestly, better production than half of the movies that have come out in the past 12 months. Just lift, bro. Just pick up the dumbbells and lift. Nobody is asking for anything more from you. We don't need you to slow-mo down you smirking at the camera as you're about to do preacher curls. Just do what you're preaching about and curl. But Gym Talk is a place for some really, really bad content, but it is also a place for some really, really good content, which is why I'm going to put it in Facebook Marketplace, because you can buy dumbbells from Facebook Marketplace. Looks maxing talk, clavicular talk, the talk where people are taking substances that they probably shouldn't inject into their face talk. I've talked about looks maxing, I've talked about clavicular in certain fashions. I haven't dedicated a whole MP4 file to him, but like I said, I do expect him to probably halt something from interacting with oxygen in the next few months, because that's just kind of the trajectory he's going in. I really pray he doesn't. Now that's probably the most average edit that the looks maxing community has seen, but basically looks maxing on TikTok consists of this: edits where people start off as chopped and then proceed to become unchopped. The video was definitely AI because we just wasted a ton of water for that. But most of the time, if you see a looks maxing video on TikTok, it's with the hopes and aspirations of probably selling you a product on the TikTok shop that will then proceed to ruin your entire life.
Do you want a model to your jaw and balanced mid-face even as an adult? Well, this is part 3 of how facial structure really changes. And here's the truth. We now know the hammer builds tissue, hormones thicken bone, but orthodontics, creates real structure.
I can just imagine his father and motherly figure waddling into the bathroom as he's doing this, and they're like,
Son, this is not what we bought you your mirror for.
why do you keep on touching your jawline in that fashion?
Dad, you don't get it. You have a recessed maxilla. How are you even talking to me, father?
You have below freezing canthal till. How dare you even talk to me, you peasant? I actually just love how this video is delivered. We all have established the fact that we know what the hammer does. After you repeatedly smash it into your face, we have already established what the hammer is capable of. Now that's the majority of what Looks Maxing Talk looks like, but we are forgetting their leader. It actually informs them on what techniques and substances they can indulge in. Clavicular.
Alright, so here's what you're gonna do, boys. You're about to go out. I haven't been to the gym in about 3 weeks, so hence the lack of gains. But essentially what you're gonna wanna do, fellas, is tape this to your delts so that you actually look like you have a little bit of size on you when you're like me and all you're doing is partying all the time and not lifting. Boom. You see that? Is that autistic? Huh? What do you think? Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, boys.
I want you to realize that this is somebody's life right now. They are watching this dude who honestly looks like a Shaun the Sheep side character at this point and is watching him licking their lips repeatedly, remarinating their lipple region repeatedly at the idea of this dude going to clubs, getting women. Hey guys, haven't hit the gym in a week? The solution is not hitting the gym. Go and get meat from your local grocery store and just put it on your body. Nobody is gonna know unless the raw chicken slips out. Then everyone is gonna know, and then they're gonna think, what is going on? Did you just want to get air fried mid-party or something? But what was your goal? I'm not going to talk too much about him because I do have intentions to make a video on him. I'm just waiting for him to do something so I could just get more views out of that whole situation, because let's be honest, why is anybody else talking about clavicular other than that fact? But truly one of the worst communities on TikTok, because not only does it increase insecurity, but it's also just promoting everything that's wrong with the universe at the moment. Don't focus on the fact that our world is crumbling. Focus on the fact that you are not getting enough minors on TikTok. Focus on that, please. I'm going to put the Looks Maxing community in annihilate innocent family of squirrels because I truly do think it's affecting people's lives extremely negatively. The last community I want to talk about is Trump Talk. Now I'm just throwing Trump Talk as the name. That's not even what they label themselves as, but there are definitely tribes of MAGA supporters on TikTok that never fail to fascinate me. Oh, are you wondering what some of that content looks like? Here, let's just look at one for example. Your kids look up to George Floyd. Our kids look up to Charlie Kirk. We are not the same. We are definitely not the same because you are struggling to house any civilians in your nucleus. That's why we are not the same. I do have civilians in my nucleus. You do not. I would really hope nobody's kids are looking up to Charlie Kirk. And I've done a video on Charlie Kirk, pre-Charlie Kirk and post-Charlie Kirk. And I'll tell you something. Why would somebody want to look up to Charlie Kirk? He got memed into oblivion. And he lived a life of hating on everybody except people that looked like himself. Why would anybody want to live or look up to Charlie Kirk? I think we have so many better role models around the universe that we can look up to. But just off of that video alone, you probably got a good understanding of just how delusional this community is. After seeing what Trump has done around the world and the amount of atrocities that he's achieved in just only a year and a half into his presidency only makes you mourn the idea that he has 2 years and a half left.
Hey liberals, at least Trump didn't sniff little girls' hair like Joe Biden did. That was creepy and perverted. Or shower with his daughter. In her diaries.
I'm not going to be too harsh on him because quite frankly, I just feel a little bad for him. But can somebody teach the guy how to end the video? That's all I want for him. Hey man, this is how to stop recording and this is how to never record again. Somebody take away his phone. Like I said, I don't want to be too harsh on the guy because I don't even think he knows what he's saying. Yes, Trump is currently starting a useless war with Iran, but at least he didn't sniff a little girl's hair. Yeah, if he's starting a war with a country that he doesn't need to be starting a war with, what is the reassurance that he hasn't sniffed a little girl's hair? The dude is mentioned like Superman in the Epstein files. Trust me, I think he's gotten past the hair. I'm going to put Trump talk and annihilate innocent family of squirrels because let's be honest, if you're still making content supporting Trump, you're either a plant or you are a tree, both of which are things that don't move. So I'm not really surprised by you. You have the emotional intelligence of a sedimentary rock. If you did enjoy the video, that's great. You want a cookie or something? Well, I don't have any, so I don't know why you would assume that I was gonna give you one. Make sure to comment down below which side of my nostril system that you like more. Is it the right or the left? Just comment down below and let me know. Just want to do a little study asking for a friend. And that friend's friend is me. I'm asking for myself. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another piece of poison that I produce. And if you want to see me on TikTok or Instagram, feel free to do so. In typical TikTok fashion, this video is about to TikTok. So it's TikToking now because it's about to end. Tick, tock, tick. I'll just leave.